Most people think you need a huge audience or building a brand in order to make money online. And to be honest, you really don't. I personally run a media company doing content on Instagram and YouTube. And if I had to start from zero today, this is the single easiest way to do it. It's by using a platform called Fiverr. The only thing you will need is a skill and patience. And here's actually proof that what I'm saying is actually legit. So as you can see, me and my girlfriend started using Fiverr as a traffic source for our media company. And I will refresh the page so you know it's actually legit. As you can see, we did 21,000 in earnings to date using Fiverr. And this is the last 30 days. You see we earned a little over 8,000 USD. And as you can see in the last 3 months, you see a really clear growth curve from May doing 376 a week to July doing almost 2,500 USD a week. And obviously this took some time. As you can see, in 2025, we started using Fiverr as a traffic source, and we only did $60 in November and $280 in December. But if you then go to 2026, you can see a really nice growth curve from January 1,000 USD to July sitting at 9.2K, almost 10,000 US dollars from Fiverr alone. So in this video, I want to cover 3 points which I think are really important if you want to start getting clients through Fiverr, and things we have discovered that will most likely help you along your journey as well. So before you start on Fiverr, you obviously want to have a skill, whether that's video editing, graphic design, web design, it really doesn't matter. You need to have a skill. And to be honest, learning a new skill can be a really fun journey, but it can also take some time. Maybe you already have a skill which you know of that you can actually start selling. That's great, then you can start right away. Or maybe you first need to learn a new skill. Dedicate the coming 3 months into learning that skill. Use YouTube, use paid courses to actually learn more on how you can deliver good results for your clients. Because at the end of the day, if clients are satisfied with your work, they will come back. And this is something I will also explain more in point 3. So let's start off with the fast track. I personally run a media company together with my girlfriend, posting content on Instagram and YouTube. And to be honest, building a brand takes some time on social media. And building a brand on its own is also a skill on its own. This is why Fiverr is really a great way to fast track your progress. It's kind of like opening a shop on an empty street. This is kind of like how you open an Instagram page for your brand. You first need to attract these people, and in order to attract these people, you need a skill. You need to know social media marketing. Fiverr, on the other hand, you open up your shop and the street is already filled with people looking for what exactly you are offering. So pick one skill, whether that's video editing, graphic design, writing, web design, it really doesn't matter. Open up Fiverr and see all the different categories and subcategories you can pick from, and just knuckle down on one specific thing and really become an expert in doing this exact thing. Because if you start on Fiverr, you can just start off as a freelancer and then actually build out your team. This is how a lot of agencies also operate on Fiverr. And this is also exactly how me and my girlfriend grew our Fiverr to currently 21,000 in total earnings and almost $10,000 in July. So now, in all honesty, how do you get the first one? Because you are brand new, right? You posted your first gig or your first few gigs, you have 0 reviews, and you have thousands of other people who are competing for the exact same clients. To be honest, this is where a lot of people will probably give up. Because you don't get an order in your first week, and you probably also don't get an order in your first month. Just think about it yourself. You're a buyer on Fiverr and you can pick 2 different freelancers. One of them is saying that he's great, and the other one has proof that he's actually great because he has tons and tons of reviews, he's a top-rated seller, and he has so much more social proof than you have at the start. So in order to get that first client and to get that first order through Fiverr, you want to make sure that everything you have is fully optimized. You have your profile. You want to make sure that you make a really professional looking profile, which means you want to make sure that your bio, your description is fully optimized, and the first 3 sentences of this description need to reflect your skill. You want to make sure that you make an intro video that is actually looking good. Make sure you look professional. You really want to win over the people looking at your profile, because you will most likely not get a lot of profile impressions in the first weeks or months. So you want to make sure that every single person who's landing on your profile is actually getting converted, because if your profile is completely empty, you have 0 reviews, 0 social proof, people are just going to click off and go to the next one who actually has an optimized profile. So really make sure, get an intro video, make sure your description is optimized. That's on the profile side. Then you want to make sure that your gigs are also fully optimized. If you don't have a portfolio yet because you have not closed any clients, then you want to make sure that also for your gigs, you want to make sure that you have a really good video. Again, make sure that it reflects your work. Make sure it looks professional. You want to make sure that your description is really good. You want to make sure that it is really clear for clients what they can expect from you and your service. And make sure that you always end with some kind of call to action. So maybe you want to offer a free 15-minute consultation call before any order. Maybe you want to give them something else for free in order to build their trust. Maybe a sample video if you do video editing. And maybe you just want to redirect them to message you in order to get the ball rolling. You want to give something away in order to get those first free clients. So I would consider going for something like a 15-minute consultation call or maybe free samples in order to win over this specific client. Now for searchability, make sure that your title is optimized for search, and the same goes with your tags, because those 2 are the most important SEO factors for the Fiverr algorithm. And a quick disclaimer here, it will probably take some time in order to get your first client, and I would personally not compete on price, because there will always be someone who's gonna be cheaper than you, and this will most likely be a fight over $20 orders. So I would personally not compete on price as much. Yes, you want to have a good price compared to competitors, but don't try to outcompete others on price, because you will most likely lose. A big advantage you could possibly have is if you speak other languages than English, for example. Me and Daphne, we both speak Dutch. Our first clients through Fiverr were Dutch clients. So if you speak Dutch, Spanish, French, or it really doesn't matter, at least another language than English, make sure to put this on your profile, because Fiverr will start recommending you to people speaking the same language if they're searching for people speaking their language rather than just English. So this could be a really big advantage to get your first order. Now the single most important thing is also client delivery, because okay, let's say you have the first order, great, congrats, but now you want to make sure that this client is actually satisfied, not only because he will give you a positive review, and this is positive for both your ranking on Fiverr and your overall profile, but you also want to have this client on repeat, because if you get repeat clients, then you will get more consistent work, and then you can actually start building something. And to actually prove that this is really important, let me show you how much of our earnings are actually from repeat clients. So as you can see here, we had a total of 24 repeat buyers which purchased for a little over 12,000 USD. This means 56% of our total earnings were from repeat buyers. So yeah, it's really important that you treat every single customer to the best of your ability. This means that they're happy with the actual final product, but this also means that you need to stay in really close contact with this client throughout the whole process, because the whole client experience is important for how the client is eventually going to feel. Maybe the client is really happy with your final product, but he didn't like that you did not update him throughout the way. So I would really recommend to update clients when you start working on the project. Maybe you can send them a screenshot while you're working on the project. Just make the clients feel really great about the whole process, and you will see this in your repeat clients. Like I said, we're currently having 56% of our earnings from Fiverr through only repeat clients. So those are like the 3 main points that I would say are really important for Fiverr. Have patience with your first order, and if you're still working a 9-to-5 job, it doesn't matter because your earnings will come from your job anyway. So learn that skill. If you don't already have a skill that you can sell on platforms like Fiverr, and then just start creating those gigs. Take the time to optimize the videos in the intro videos and the gig videos, because this will really improve your overall conversion rate, because people will just trust you more if you compare it with people that don't have videos. And just, to be honest, be patient. If you're patient and you do the right thing, then you will land your first order. And then, as you can also see in this graph, it will start compounding month over month and deliver quality work. People will come back, and again, it will start compounding month over month. And the great part is, for us, this was just an extra traffic source. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit subscribe. I post weekly videos about building abroad. This can be business, mindset, anything related to building your life abroad. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.